G'day legends, and welcome back to our top 50 must-see spots in South Australia. We're absolutely charging through this thing like a runaway sausage roll at a party sausage sizzle. This is part 8, which means we're deep into the good stuff, the real pointy end of the countdown. Today, we're serving up spots 36 to 40. And let me tell you, we're talking fascinating history. We're talking stunning geography. We might even see if we can find a pie floater along the way. First cab off the rank today is Strathalbyn, a town so charming it could steal your nan's teeth right out of her glass of water. We're talking beautiful heritage buildings, gardens that'd make a botanist weak at the knees, and all nestled on the banks of the mighty Angus River. Now, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds a bit quaint, and you wouldn't be wrong. But trust me, there's more to Strathalbyn than meets the eye. It's got this real chilled-out vibe, like a koala in a hammock, but with less eucalyptus and more scones. You can wander the streets, soak up the history, and pretend you're a character in a Jane Austen novel. Just try not to trip over any corgis while you're at it. Next up, we're zigzagging up into the Adelaide Hills to a little slice of heaven called Stirling. Now, if you're a fan of lush greenery, vibrant colors that'd make a rainbow jealous, and air so fresh it'll make you want to bottle it up and sell it on eBay, then Stirling is your jam. Picture this. You're strolling down the main street, leaves crunching underfoot, the smell of freshly baked bread wafting out of a nearby bakery. It's enough to make a grown man weep. Tears of joy, obviously. And the best part? Stirling is a haven for anyone who needs a good dose of peace and quiet. It's like the world's biggest chill pill, but instead of swallowing it, you get to immerse yourself in it. Hold on to your hard hats, folks, because we're about to delve into the heart of South Australia's copper mining history in Moonta, affectionately known as the Little Cornwall of the South. Now, I'm not talking about some small-time operation here. We're talking serious copper action, the kind that built towns, fueled industries, and probably made a few miners very, very wealthy. And the best part is, you can still feel that history today. Moonta is like a living museum, with heritage sites and museums around every corner, just begging to be explored. You can practically hear the echoes of the miners' pickaxes and smell the pasties cooking in the ovens. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating about the pasties, but you get the idea. Next stop, Mannum. This historic town on the Murray River is basically the gateway drug to river adventures. We're talking paddle steamers chugging along, houseboats bobbing gently in the current, and enough water activities to make a duck dizzy. Now, I'm not usually one for boats. I get a bit seasick between you and me. But even I can't resist the allure of the Murray. It's like stepping back in time, when life was simpler, and the only thing you had to worry about was whether you packed enough sunscreen. Speaking of sunscreen, make sure you slap on a bit extra when you're in Mannum. That Aussie sun doesn't mess around. Last but not least, we're finishing up in Kadina, the big kahuna of the Yorke Peninsula. This place is steeped in history, and I'm not just talking about the kind you read in textbooks, although there's plenty of that too. We're talking about the kind of history you can feel in your bones, the kind that whispers to you from the walls of old buildings and the depths of abandoned mine shafts. And speaking of mine shafts, Kadina has got them in spades. This town was built on copper, and the legacy of that industry is everywhere you look. So, if you're a history buff, or even if you just appreciate a good story, then make sure you add Kadina to your South Australian bucket list. Well, there you have it, folks. Another 5 incredible South Australian destinations to add to your travel bucket list. From the charming streets of Strathalbyn to the historic depths of Kadina, we've covered some serious ground today. But don't worry, the adventure doesn't stop there. We've still got a whole heap of amazing spots to uncover in our countdown of the top 50 must-see spots in South Australia.